Hi there, and welcome to Arts Focus. This is a 30-minute program that is produced by Columbia Access Television, along with the Office of Cultural Affairs for the City of Columbia. My name is J.J. Musgrove, and I'm the Executive Director of the OCA, and we're very pleased that you decided to join us today. We take this time every month to interview a few people who are representative of various arts and culture organizations around our community, and hopefully find out how we all as a community can be more involved in their organization and how we can help out make our city a more vibrant, wonderful place. Here we have Morgan Dennehy. Morgan, it's the first time Morgan and I met, so there's that. So Morgan Dennehy, and Morgan is with the Maplewood Barn Community Theater. And so we're going to talk a little theater, which is fantastic for me, being a theater guy, more than anything else. So let's kind of delve right into it as far as for the people that may have not seen a show at Maplewood Barn or know a lot about its history or anything like that. Kind of tell us a little bit about the theater itself and going to a show there if you want to talk about that.
Well, Maplewood Barn is quite literally a big red barn out at Nifong Park. They've been producing plays out there for about 40 years. I believe in 2010 it was actually vandalized and burnt down, so they had to rebuild it, and 2012 was their Phoenix season. So they've been going strong again since 2012. I guess, we do shows all summer long, starting at the end of April and going all the way through September. Musicals, comedy, Shakespeare, classics, you name it, we do it. So, and it's a wonderful community venue for people to get involved that are into theater and need a place to express that theatrical side of themselves. So.
Yeah, and outside of, I would say, a lot of our academic theaters that we have here in town, Maplewood Barn was really, truly the pioneer in theater in our community. You can see a lot of the other theater groups that have existed and are existing right now in Columbia are really offshoots of people that worked at the barn to begin with.
And this is the only one that's generally outside.
Yes.
Our first production of the year this year, however, is inside.
Okay.
But for the remainder of the season, everything's outside, rain or shine. And it's just wonderful theater under the stars. So
when somebody goes to, with the exception of the first one, I'm assuming that the first one is because sometimes it's a little cold and or.
I think it depends.
Okay.
I think this one's inside probably because of that. I mean, it's Missouri, so wait 5 minutes and we'll get new weather.
Exactly.
But, you know. So, but it will work really well. Our first one is Shakespeare.
Okay.
We're doing the Scottish play is what we're opening with at the end of the year.
Well done.
And for those of you that don't know, I can't actually say the title of the Scottish play, so because it's supposedly cursed. And I don't want to have to go outside, turn around 3 times and spit.
That's
so,
right.
You know.
Yeah, it's kind of a female's name with McDonald's on the beginning of it. So
exactly,
yeah, so it works out pretty well. So that's what we used to call it, the female McDonald's. So that's good. Great. So that's the very first show that's coming up here. What are the other shows that are coming up in the season?
We also have, oops, and I'm dropping paper here. Godspell is our first musical.
Wonderful show. And
it opens at the end of May. Then Steel Magnolias at the end of June.
Wow.
Oliver at the end of July, and Moon Over Buffalo at the end of August, beginning of September.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's a great season. That's really wonderful. So. A lot of those are recognizable. Moon Over Buffalo, it may not be as recognizable to people. It's a
comedy.
It is a comedy, yeah.
Basically, it's a group of actors who are in Buffalo in 1953. And they find out that their shot at stardom may not have passed like they thought because Frank Capra is coming to watch their show. And he's looking for actors. That's
great. So. I think it was written by Ken Ludwig, too.
That sounds right.
And Ken he didn't write very many plays, but one of them that he wrote that a lot of people know is Lend Me a Tenor. And so if you like slapstick comedy, this is what we call this would definitely be what it was called a slamming door farce. There's a lot of running around and a lot of doors being slammed and things like that.
So. And this one's being directed by a true barn veteran. Byron Scott is directing this one.
Oh, Scotty's going to be doing that. That's great.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Good. That's wonderful. As far as, that sounds like a wonderful season. It's going to be a lot of laughs. Really great to be out enjoying that outside. It's going to be wonderful. If people are thinking about, so we were talking just before we came on here as far as getting involved in Maplewood Barn, and how did you get involved, and using that kind of as an example of how other people can get involved?
Well, unless you know, for me, I knew someone that was directing a show. Russ Scott was directing Caesar last year, or year before last, and was looking for people to help him out. And I have a background in British literature, so Shakespeare's kind of right up my alley. And I ended up assistant directing for him. But They also open up to the community involved. If you go to the website, maplewoodbarn.com, they do a call for directors halfway through the year, around November. And you fill out an application, you come up with an idea and a concept, and you go in and you give basically a presentation on your pitch for what you want the show to look like. Last year I directed Much Ado About Nothing and did a Mizzou theme, and so I went out there and had my little set presentation, and so you can do that. And if you don't want to direct, they also have auditions, open auditions for all the shows.
Wonderful.
So Godspell has been cast. The auditions for Steel Magnolias are May 9th and 10th. Oliver is May 30th and 31st, and Moon Over Buffalo is July 11th and 12th.
Okay, wonderful. And what about getting involved behind the scenes?
Same thing. I mean, if you have, if you know people that are directing, if you go in and you don't get a part like you wanted to, always feel free to tell the director, hey, if you need behind the scenes help, I'm there. That's how I wound up working on Fat Pig at CEC. I didn't get the part I wanted, but I offered to help with costumes and stuff, and that's how I met Scott and his wife Angel. Or I mean, Russ and his wife Angel. So.
Okay, good. They're married to Russ
yeah,
and Angel.
Exactly.
Okay, good. So that's what. Because Russell's who does do
Sorry.
that. No, that's fantastic. Well, good. So it's a truly a community theater. It's that you can be involved in so many different ways. And if you hadn't thought about acting, and the last time you acted was your third grade PTA, you can get out and audition, and it's okay.
Very informal. I mean, you don't have to come in with your full actor's CV with, I played Lady Macbeth on, during college at whatever. It's even if you don't have any acting experience whatsoever. If there's a show that you want to be involved in, go to the website, look up what's being done that season, and come audition. And just get involved.
I had a friend of mine that was interested in auditioning. She decided not to do it, but for one of the shows that was coming up. And she gave me a call and asking about, what do I do? And really, truly, it was for that particular audition for Godspell, it was to prepare a song, just get a song from a musical, not from Godspell.
Yeah,
from
right.
Godspell. And go out there and sing and just show people that you could carry a tune and that you were enthusiastic and that you really wanted to be a part of something.
And be prepared to dance.
Right. That was always my failing. That's all I didn't get cast for much because every time I danced, I just fell apart, so it's good. Well, tell us how we can, you mentioned it one time before, but how can we find out a little bit more about the organization? Where do we go online, things like that?
Maplewoodbarn.com has all the information, the list of shows, the auditions. They do put things up for that. All the directors write up a blurb for their show, so you kind of know what it is you're getting into when you decide you want to audition for a show. You can also purchase tickets from there for the season itself. When you come out to the barn, bring a blanket, a couple of chairs, picnic, beer, wine, whatever, and just enjoy yourself.
That's great. Well, it's wonderful. It's nice to have a venue that we can have to do that. So, well, thank you very much for joining me here. And we'll be back here pretty soon with Sarah Dresser to talk to another organization.
Hi, and welcome back to Arts Focus. I'm Sarah Dresser with the Office of Cultural Affairs. Our next guests are representatives from the Missouri Review. We have Kate McIntyre and Kris Somerville. Welcome. And so, Kate, you're the relatively new managing editor.
That's right.
For the Missouri Review. So if you could just tell us a little bit about what is the Missouri Review.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Missouri Review is a literary magazine. We publish fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. And then additionally, we publish found text features, where we do archival work and find cool things. Like we published a story by Mark Twain that had never been published before, for instance. We've been around since 1978. So we are edging up on 40 years, and we are affiliated with the University of Missouri. Right. So in addition to producing a magazine quarterly, we have a really vibrant student internship program.
Great. And do most of your interns come from the students who are at the university, or do you have students who kind of come in from other outside places?
Mostly MU, but we've also had students from Stevens College, and I think this summer we're having a Columbia College student.
Great, yeah. So all based here in Columbia, and we have a wide network of higher education, so it's good to spread the love a little bit. And you know, as a literary magazine, you're probably always constantly working on upcoming issues and the ones that are coming out. So how many issues do come out per year? And you're probably really involved in, you know, how those works get selected and what type of works are selected. So if you maybe talk a little bit more about like some of the behind the scenes process of what you do.
Absolutely. So we publish 4 times a year.
Okay.
We've actually just last week sent our spring issue off to be printed, which we're very excited about. Every year the Missouri Review gets something like 12,000 unsolicited submissions.
Wow.
Right? So from writers all over the country and all over the world.
Wow.
And from those submissions, we're able to publish, probably no more than 100 texts or so a year. So we're very selective and have a really strong nationwide and worldwide reputation in the literary community. We're generally considered one of the top 5 or so small magazines.
Right. Awesome. Well, and we look forward to seeing the, I guess, spring issue, that sneak peek.
The spring, and summer will, well, actually this is fall.
This is fall.
And spring will be out in about 3 weeks.
Once it comes back from the printer. So
Right,
we'll look
right.
forward.
And it's beautiful.
We'll look forward to that cover. You also host events throughout the year.
We do.
So Kris, can you tell us a little bit about kind of the upcoming events and maybe a preview for others to come?
Sure. I mean, one good way to get to know the Missouri Review is to come to our literary events, and we do have one coming up, and I'm going to refer to my cheat sheet here. It's the Jeffrey E. Smith Prize, and it's the 25th Annual Smith Prize, and it is May 7th at 6 p.m. at the Broadway in the Katie Room, which is downstairs of the hotel, and it's free and open to the public. Wine, beer, soda, hors d'oeuvres will be served, and we'll have the winners of this year's Editor's Prize on hand to read from their prize-winning manuscripts. So this year's winners are Janice Grill in nonfiction, Emma Torres for fiction, and Philip Thomas in poetry. And these pieces were selected from over 3,000 submissions. And as Kate said, these submissions come from all over the country, not only all over the country, but all over the world. And they're wonderful pieces. And this is free and open to the public. And this year we're really trying to turn it into an extravaganza. So we'll have a photo booth, wine tasting, what else? Writing prompts.
Okay, so a lot of interactive things.
Yeah,
for
we're
people
trying to make it really, really
explore
fun,
the
participatory.
literary arts in their own way. Great.
Yeah. So we invite everyone to join us.
Right. And so it's coming up in just a little over a month. So May.
Yeah, we have a month to pull it together. May 7th.
Well, it sounds like it'll be a very fun event. And we talked a little bit before off camera about some of the other programs and initiatives you do that people can kind of become a little bit more engaged with the literary arts. Could you talk a little bit more about some of those programs that you do, not just publication and events, but some of those other programs that you do?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a good sort of clearinghouse is our website, which is MissouriReview.com, right? And from there you can find our social media pages for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow us there and keep up with what we're doing. Also on the website, we have a lot of audio content, and that's something that sets our magazine apart. We have a recording studio in the basement. We record every issue of the review, so it's available both in print and digitally. And then additionally, we do podcasts.
Oh, great.
So we've just finished a series of podcasts where one of our graduate interns was talking to Citizen Jane filmmakers, interviewing them. You can find links to all of those podcasts on our website, on our Facebook page. And then we're looking ahead as well toward National Short Story Month.
Okay.
We'll have more podcasts.
Great. And I'm a big fan of podcasts, and they're a great way to kind of continue, you know, there's so much culture to digest, so it's really great to do it if you're like driving around or on a long trip or
going for a walk,
or, you know, just kind of trying to relax in your own home. And also the great thing I love about literary podcasts is, you know, when you get a chance to maybe talk with authors especially or filmmakers, you know, you kind of get that kind of behind the scenes layer to their work. It's not just, you know, experiencing the work, but it is kind of getting a behind the scenes look and kind of at what their inspiration is. Is there any other thing that I missed that you guys have in this upcoming year, I guess especially the program year, looking ahead to even the fall or the summer that
Well, we will have a summer launch party at a local bar, and that's a little, you know, it's a smaller event, more intimate event than the Editor's Prize, so we'll make that information available on our website. I just want to say, I just got back from New York, and I was meeting with editors and agents, and the Missouri Review is looked to as a venue for new talent, and I was really reminded of that fact. So
we're really proud.
I don't know, we're pretty great,
and
right?
Have Missouri and Columbia represented in such a great way, and I think we are a cultural center, especially for the arts, and I would say, you know, from speaking with both of you, the literary arts, and we're really proud to have you here as an organization, and putting out really strong work that is recognized on a national and international level. So we look forward to kind of seeing what you both continue to do in your work at the Missouri Review, and hope that people can go visit. And I think your website's probably on the screen, but where can people go to find out more info?
MissouriReview.com.
It's pretty simple, straightforward. And Google, I'm sure that people will get there. And stay tuned on social media. So when you have new events going up, I'm sure that they'll be on there too, and people will get those reminders when they're online. So thank you both for coming today and talking about what you do. I look forward to coming to the events and seeing the new issues.
Excellent.
So we'll be right back with our last segment.
Hi, and welcome back to Arts Focus. I'm JJ Musgrove, along with Sarah.
Hi.
The great dresser. And this is the part where, as opposed to interviewing a particular guest we have here, we thought that it would be nice to take one of these segments and really let you know about upcoming things that are happening within our community, how you can get involved, and things of that nature. So, and I'm supposed to ask you, Sarah, because specifically you said, I would like to ask you about the Poetry from the Page contest, which is going on right now, and our partnership with Tribune and Unbound Book Festival.
Right, and this is a great segue from our last guest, also a literary organization. So we are a partner with Columbia Daily Tribune for the Poetry from the Page contest, which is a contest of blackout poetry created from words printed on the page of the Columbia Daily Tribune.
Okay.
So what people who enter will do is take a page from the Tribune in a black marker, and they will black out all the words except for the ones that they want to be part of their poem. Okay. So, you kind of just black out all the words, and then the little words you leave not blacked out is then what becomes your poem that you enter to the contest. And there's 3 contest categories. One is just called Pick Your Page, so you can really just pick, I'm assuming, any page from the Tribune. So really free for all, pick your whole page. The Trib Talk section, which I'm sure will be a very interesting, we'll see kind of what, those will have their own kind of, I don't know,
feeling, atmosphere, tone.
Yeah, atmosphere, tone to them.
Feeling.
And then there'll be the classified section. So from those 3 categories, there will be winning poems that will be chosen, and they will be displayed at the Unbound Book Festival on Stevens College campus on April 23rd. And then after the festival, I think they'll go on a little tour around Columbia, being displayed at various venues, maybe like the library and some other locations. So there'll also be cool prizes, maybe not for the winners, and so those will be available with more information on the Tribune's website. So the application deadline's coming up April 12th, which is, from a week and a couple days from or maybe a week from this filming date.
Yes.
So if you're watching it after April 12th, sorry. It'll probably come around next year too, so don't worry about it. Yeah. But for more information on the contest, how to enter, and maybe some more information about the prizes, if you go to the Columbia Tribune website, columbiatribune.com/dash, DASH, and that will direct you to the Poetry from the Page information. And I think it'll be a really fun way to get the community involved in kind of creating their own unique poems, but from the publication that the Tribune puts out.
I think it's great. It's really wonderful.
Right.
Or if you can you enter in all 3 categories?
That is a good question. I'm sure they will have that information
I did
for
not
you
want to put it on spot.
on the website.
Yes,
so I'm
true.
sure it, like all the information on how you can enter and how many you can enter. But definitely, I think students and adults alike can really take advantage of this kind of fun opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. The Unbound Book Festival is
Right.
really what we had last month. We had Alex George here, and he talked about it. What maybe a dearth in our community was really lacking a major literary type of festival, and we
Right.
had a lot of different. Obviously, we have a lot of major festivals that happen here in Columbia, but when Alex and his peer group really thought about what they could do, they were really hoping to, I think, be great but be small and then let it grow.
Right.
And what has happened is that this particular event has just gone bananas as far as how many people are coming, the wealth of authors that we have that are well known. So if you ever thought about going to a book festival and meeting authors that you probably are reading on a daily basis, this is really a wonderful thing for us to have.
Right, so that's coming up April 23rd,
Yeah.
Stevens College, and it's free and open to the public. Their event schedule is posted online. They have different types of events for nonfiction, fiction, poetry, and children's literature. And you can it's first come, first serve, I believe, at the different events that are scheduled throughout the campus. But I think a lot of people are really looking forward to that, and hearing conversations with the authors, and also maybe getting a chance to meet some of the authors, and also just mingle with your fellow book lovers here in town. And I think we're definitely looking forward to that event. That's their inaugural
event. Yeah.
Event, yeah.
I think that's wonderful. You say it quickly, nobody knows.
I know, it's fine.
Upcoming events that we have going on. You sure you want to plug through some of those for you?
I'm going to plug through just a couple things that, before I kind of list a couple of the highlights that April will have.
Yeah.
Part of what the OCA does is try to inform the public on all these events that are happening. And so one of the ways we do that is through our weekly art news email newsletter that gets sent out on Thursday afternoons. We'll highlight all the events that are coming up in the next week, and also maybe ahead in the month if there's some kind of registration or tickets that need to be bought. So if you go to their website, comoarts.com, there'll be a link for you to click on to sign up for that art news email if you're not already. You can also get that information on our Facebook and Twitter pages at Como Arts. So, I'm going to say some events here, but there's also a way to just sign up, and so you can get them in your inbox every week and kind of stay up to date. Some things happening in the next week, some openings, theater openings. Theater is really big this month.
It's a theater month, yeah.
Greenhouse Theater Project is presenting their next production called Measure, which is an adaptation of William Shakespeare's play Measure for Measure, and that's April 6th through 10th at Orr Street Studios. And I hear it's going to be kind of a little different than some of their other productions. You're going to be kind of on the move the whole time, so it's not going to be a sitting, observing play. You're not going to be in the play, but you'll be up and about. So I'm really excited to see kind of that new experience. Also, this week, the Dixie Swim Club is opening at Columbia Entertainment Company on April 7th, and that runs through April 24th, Columbia Entertainment Company. Trips Institute at Stevens College is opening their next production, Skippy John Jones, April 8th and 9th, so I guess at the end of this week. Also at Stevens College, their New Works dance concert, that is 8th through the 10th at the Warehouse Theater. So Stevens is known for its dance program, its fine arts program. So I think that the New Works is always a annual event in the spring that people really look forward to, and seeing what the students have kind of put together, a lot of things that have never been seen before on stage. So I know people are always looking forward to that. Talking Horse Productions, let's go back to theater for a second. A Man of No Importance, that's their next performance that is opening April 15th, and that runs for 3 weekends. It runs through May 1st at Talking Horse Theater, and that's over in the North Village Arts District. A couple other performances that are happening. Columbia Chorale is presenting their next concert called From Darkness to Light, the music of Bach and Mendelssohn, and that will be for one night only, April 16th at 7:30 p.m. at First Baptist Church. And speaking of choirs, the University Concert Series is presenting the MU Choral Union along with the Columbia Civic Orchestra, and they're performing a Russian concert, Alexander Nevsky and the Symphony of Psalms, which is by Stravinsky, and that'll be April 21st at Jesse Auditorium. One last thing before we wrap up.
Okay.
We'll go to the visual arts.
Appreciate
Columbia Art League, it's opening its new show called Chromophobia. Their new exhibit is opening April 26th with a reception April 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. And I believe that that show is all exploring the realm of color or the lack of color. It'll be interesting to kind of see how the different artists have interpreted that theme. It always has really great themes.
Well, they do. Columbia Art League does a really wonderful time.
League.
Yeah, they really do.
Right, so.
As you can see, there's an awful lot going on.
A lot,
so,
and that wasn't even everything.
I know. ComoArts.com.
Sign up.
And sign up for those that e-newsletter. And there you go. So that's our segment for this particular month.
Right.
I'm JJ. This is Sarah. And thank you for joining us for Arts Focus.